name 5 cereals or whatever.
Yeah.
Trust me, I can think of that kind of stuff
Okay.
right away. I mean, it's your thing.
No.
I'll take it over. Don't worry.
My favorite one was name your fingers.
Yeah.
That is gold.
Favorite one.
That freaked me out at first because I was like, oh, I'm going to sound so stupid.
You should never think that, Aaron.
Thanks, buddy.
I made that one
That's the highest leg touch Tony's ever had as my friend.
That's only because
man.
That's only because I didn't look before I did it.
He went
here.
Kevin Spacey level.
Shoo.
Hey,
So high.
this news has got, dude. How can I resist with all this news coming out? It's just
I'm just gonna assume that everyone I like is a terrible piece of trash.
That's what all these people are like. I'm so disappointed. You just have to think. You just have to remember that everyone's human, and humans do bad shit a lot of times. And so you shouldn't like idolize people who are still alive.
I was a big fan of Kevin Spacey, man. I thought he was really good at what he did.
I still am a fan of his artistic work. I'm not a fan of him as a person. I'm still going to watch American Beauty and think it's a fucking fantastic movie, but I'm not going to like think Kevin Spacey's a good guy or anything.
Yeah,
so the good thing that's coming
not.
out of this is that the next person that's going to get popped is Donald Trump, and it's going to be great.
Well, he's already been popped.
I think he weathered the storm.
Yeah, he made it through. It doesn't matter what he does, man.
Bigger pop.
When he's a celebrity,
There's me
you
video
can do whatever you want.
of his vinegar strokes.
The bigger hymen pop.
Dude, I hope you're right, Aaron. But then again, like we talked about
Let's
last
kick off the show with this one.
Yeah.
We're already streaming,
just
and I said the word hymen. So
Oh, yeah.
Woo.
write me up.
Friday night podcast. This is probably the most lubed up I've been.
It's we're hopping popping, baby.
Looped up, looped up, looped up, looped up, looped up. Remember that song? Souped up vinyl.
Oh my God.
Round and round.
I just listened to a ska playlist for me.
Well, you sent me that picture of the guy from the Agri Lights the other day, and I swear to God, dude, I was at work when I opened that, and I was like, I have to Google Agro Boss right now.
You remember that?
And I Googled Agri Lights, and I looked at the pictures of that guy. That guy he looks like a fucking Lego character, dude. It's crazy.
There's a lot. They had a lowrider with hydraulics in the background of that photo.
That was
Some
like
East LA
probably
folks.
from like 2006, but that was like when lowriders were still cool. Like remember remember the early 2000s when lowriders were like.
Tony, did you title this episode 1 or something?
Yeah, it always says that when we're streaming.
Well,
But I have to change it
Austin's
later.
questioning.
It always says that, Austin, when we're streaming.
We can talk about lowriders on the pod. We'll keep it loosey goosey this week. Doesn't have to be football. I gotta get some lip balm on my lips.
How's the temperature? Are you guys?
I'm good. I got a sweatshirt on, so I can take that off if I need to.
Are you warm?
I'm
good.
just fine.
I just never
I'm good.
know because I just never know, guys. So I was
You're doing a good job.
Thanks.
Now we could just probably
I'm
poke the door open for a second.
Paying
and
my
that'd be
bills.
good.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, you want to kick it off, or should we give Austin a little time to log on?
Well, Austin, let us know if the audio is good for you.
We're going to encourage our listeners or listener
I haven't shaved my head in a long time.
to go ahead and send in some questions
Look at that, dude.
already right off the bat,
You got
and
Jessica
we'll see if we can address those early.
It's bad. It's way back there.
I can see your hair.
Yeah, I'm getting some pushback too on my dome. Oh, but look, I got this fucking scar going on. So like when it hits that scar, it's like double back. It's like I'm losing double. You see, I got like
It's
so-
like you're at
Oh,
a
yeah,
disadvantage.
right because once
Yeah.
I hit that point, it's like I've doubled my recession.
Right.
Yeah, but
And it's
even if
gonna
it's
be-
back, even if it was back behind the scar, it wouldn't.
You've got a
It's
thick
still
head of hair,
great.
man.
It's still a great.
I don't want to hear Aaron complain about his hair.
No complaints.
Fuck off.
Hold on, let me push my hair behind my ears. Hold
Wow,
on.
that must be tough for you, Aaron. Wow, to have a hairline like that. Shit.
Yeah,
Shit.
my nickname is Heron actually right now.
Oh, that's good.
Deep thick hair.
That's pretty good.
Oh man.
It's all right.
All right.
Hold
Welcome. No. Oh, God. That's how we're going to start it off.
No.
I hope the audio's
All right.
ready.
Just end it now.
All right,
Well,
kick-
with that,
kick
I
it
was
off.
Gator Shrimp. No, I'm kidding. Here we are. Week fucking, I don't know, 10, 11,
10, I
somewhere
believe.
around the middle.
This is. Whew.
I know.
It is now week 10.
It's now week 10.
This is upcoming week 10.
Get another beer.
Oh.
Well, don't
Early
worry.
game.
Don't worry, man. Nope, don't go yet. My name's Gator Strand.
And
I'm Aaron. I'm what's going on?
Fucking Aaron. You're the guest, dude.
And
Wait
I'm
your
the
turn.
co-host, Tony Littell.
Wait your turn.
I got eyes.
And
I'm like,
with us, and when I say us, I mean me and my co-host, Gator Strand. We have our guest.
hey, I'm Aaron. What's going on? Hey. Hey, I got the eyes. I got the eyes from him. I was like, I think like
I did
some
not
silence.
look at you, man.
There's a little bit of silence.
I
so
did
was
not
like, I'm
look
gonna
at
pop
you.
up and
He said
and
he
say
got
it.
the eyes.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well,
Anyway.
I'm here. Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm
Thanks
Aaron.
for being here, man. It's a last-minute schedule change from Austin, and we'll see if that plays in our favor.
And also me, because I scheduled change from yesterday.
Right. That was.
So I apologize.
Hey, we're good.
It's all Tony's fault.
Well,
We're gonna do another.
Austin really wanted to be here.
Right.
So Austin, it's okay. We'll get you next week.
We'll get you.
That's kind of the cool thing about this podcast is that it's just kind of, whoever
No one's
can be
listening?
here. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of we always got league members here. We got you guys always the constants, and whoever shows up, it's a treat.
And like
no
I
matter
said,
what.
Anybody who hasn't been on, just let us know.
I know. We got to get someone else
We'd
on.
love to
Need
have
some
you.
fresh
we can
blood.
Work our schedules around yours if need
Kinda.
be.
We actually
Marianne, we can wake up at 6 a.m. so that you can get to your tailgate at 9 a.m. on
Right.
Saturday.
Right.
we actually got to make. We should probably. I want to hear from more league members.
Yeah,
like to
I
have
need-
Tom on here and talk about
I
his
wanna get Tom
season.
down here.
Tom has the least amount of excuses of anybody. Well, maybe not the least,
What?
but he has few excuses.
Well, he just recently got a new shift at his job, which a better shift. So he's getting off work at a normal time now. So maybe he'll be more available.
I think the most hyped episode, if I must go out on a limb, would be the Taylor and Lauren podcast, right?
That is hands down the
And
most hyped
Marianne,
episode.
if we can make that
Yeah,
happen.
the girls
Wow.
hot ones.
Hot ones, hot wings. Yeah,
But
we'll get him on here. We'll
well,
make it happen.
yeah. So anybody who wants to come on, hosts are inviting you.
But
so.
man, coordinating the schedule between Taylor and her horse shit and Lauren and her nurse shit
Oh,
and Marianne living far away, that's going to be a miracle if we can pull that off.
I think we could do it. There's got to be. I mean, we got like 6 more weeks until the end of the season.
We got time.
they need to reshift their priorities. Actually, fantasy
This
football podcast on a Thursday night
should be number one.
higher than.
We should do a podcast on the night of my birthday.
Whoa,
Oh,
that'd be cool.
man.
That'd
With
be cool.
With
We
a bunch of people listening. It'd be like a live episode.
We need like a big live mic.
Yeah. Ones and
Maybe do
twos.
it. Might have to think about that one. Might have to think about that one.
All right, let's talk about some football. So Tony,
I have to get a beer.
Beer run.
Oh,
Early beer run.
All right, Aaron, hit me with a question.
All right, Gator. I'll take one of these Fathoms. It's in a box.
Oh, I'll wait. We'll do another beer run later.
Gator, I want you to name 5 states that start with the letter A.
Arizona, Arkansas, Alabama.
I'm not even positive there's 5.
Yeah.
Cities.
Albuquerque and Amsterdam.
Oh,
New
gosh,
Amsterdam.
man.
Damn. Are there 5?
How many states with the letter A? Start Arizona, Alabama,
Arkansas.
I said that.
You said all
I said
those.
those 3. I'm looking it up now. Oh, I missed Alaska.
Alaska.
Oh,
Ooh.
There's
That's
4.
it?
There's 4.
Damn.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That would've been really good.
Well, I'll drink.
Okay.
I'll drink.
Here, real quick. Name all the teams in the AFC North.
Not gonna happen.
None of them.
I don't know. The Cardinals, the Cubbies, the Indians.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well.
All right. That beer run was mixed results
Yep.
due to me.
It's really derailed things.
So now let's talk about some actual football.
Let's do it.
Tony, you're the only one that has currently drafted this week,
Yeah.
and the Thursday night quarterback paid off for you,
Drew,
and I fucking hate it.
Drew Stanton.
How many points did he get last night?
17-ish.
17.54 to lead off the points for this week. Let's see, 23 incompletions.
He threw the ball like 49 times,
threw
right?
A lot of times. Let's see. 47.
Ooh.
Yeah, 24 for 47, 273, a touchdown. He didn't throw a pick, but he got sacked twice. And I'll take it. I'll take 17.5 points.
Especially for where you're sitting at right now in the standings, and for a
I'm just
Thursday
trying to
night
maintain.
quarterback, you're doing really
Just trying to
well.
maintain.
You're looking really good.
My strategy is just, it's working out to perfection.
How do I get to the overall standings here? Let me see that.
Where
are you sitting at, Tony?
Third, I believe I'm in third or fourth.
Yeah, third. You are third. That's really solid, man.
Yeah. I'm 5 points behind the Lucas Horse in first place.
Marianne retakes the lead.
Oh man.
But only by 3 points. That top of the.
I mean,
top
if you want to
three
be
is
technical, I'm in first right now. If you want to be actually like to this minute,
no, you aren't. You're still 5 points behind Marianne. What do you mean?
even with my 17 this week.
Yeah,
You're like it's like a half game almost, right? It's like you're a half game ahead.
I thought that was without my 17.
I'm fairly certain that's with your 17 points.
Yeah, it updates.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Yeah,
I don't know.
anyway,
I think
Tony's
I
in
think
third.
maybe I'm in first.
That top three right there is only separated by 5 points, which is crazy. Y'all are up there way past us. Aaron, you're sitting in fifth right now with 112. However, what I want to say is ever since we've made that bet, we've been creeping and creeping closer, man. Creeping and creeping.
I like to keep things interesting here. I like you as a friend. I don't want to hurt you too bad. I don't want to beat you too bad.
Sure.
Just as a friend, you like him?
Yeah, what else would I like him as, right?
I just want to know if it's more than friends.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, I like you as a great friend.
Yeah.
As one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So I never want to hurt anybody, right? So I don't want to beat him too bad.
Sure.
But I'm going to win. But it's one of those things where I'm trying to bring it down a little bit, bring your confidence up a little bit, and then
keep
smash
talking
you.
shit, Aaron, man. Keep talking shit.
We'll get to me a little bit later. Wasn't a great week at all. But Drew Stanton throwing the ball 47 times. Like,
dude,
if you look at the Cardinals, like
that's
they
just
got
what they do, dude.
Yeah, but they got Adrian Peterson who rushed the ball like a career high, like
He got
36
tackled for
times?
safety for the first time in his career this week.
Because they suck. They're not
Believe
good.
that.
They're not good.
Well, Tony, if we want to stick with you, last week, the week that everyone else is on that we're talking about, you only scored 4.82 points.
Yeah.
Who'd you end up going with last week? Yeah, we've got none
Bortles.
of this prepared, guys.
Was it Bortles? Oh, I got auto drafted.
You got auto drafted.
Oh, why? What were you doing?
I was napping.
Napping.
Louder,
Huh.
so everybody can hear it.
I was napping.
That's nice.
So he got saddled with Blake Bortles
And
taking on the Bengals.
I gotta say, I did not want Blake Bortles. That was not who I wanted to pick. I was actually happy with what I got at 4.82. As terrible as that is, I was kind of afraid that Bortles was gonna have a really good game and give me negatives.
He had a good enough game.
Now,
But I'm just saying, I'm happy that I got positive. That's how bad I was feeling about this auto draft.
Right.
pulling back the curtain a little bit.
Just saying, it's all my fault. I take full responsibility.
Pulling back the curtain for our viewers. There was a point in time you might have considered benching him on purpose because you were afraid that he would have had a good day against the Bengals secondary. Is that right?
Full disclosure, I think Brian actually put him in for me.
Uh-oh.
Really?
I'm not totally sure because I don't remember doing it. So maybe Brian can confirm. But
Whoa.
if
If so, we might have a case because we're not supposed to plug in Sunday 1 o'clock games.
I mean, if he did, if that's not allowed, then I would accept whatever he got me, 4.82. I would accept that subtracted from my total.
Because you were planning on kind of benching him, weren't you?
I was actually going to. I actually was. That was my plan because I told John when we were watching the game.
I remember.
Said, and John was like, "No, you started him." And I was like, "Oh."
Did you add him?
I might have added him, but I don't know if I started him.
Did you add him maybe mobile on your mobile device? Because there's a feature on there where you add a player and then there's a button that says start when it's automatically start.
I do know that.
So
maybe, but I don't know. I feel
Tony's
like
he was napping.
okay.
He
Well,
was
whatever. It's
napping.
5 points or
Dude.
4 points.
Brian
or
went
whatever.
with the Blake Chortles as the nickname, by the way. Which conveniently you were second to last. So let's just move on to Austin, who drafted last. Joe Wacko. Let's see how he did. He got himself 22.78 points,
Solid.
which is really great. it's especially great for Austin that he got that many points and was 5th, which means he got to draft higher the next week.
Right.
There was a huge gap between the top of last week, Austin being the bottom of that tier, and then Taylor being the very next with only 7 points. So there was a big difference between the leaders and the trailers last week. Lots of negatives too.
It's funny because I think we've had a couple weeks where, in my eyes, it's like everybody was so bunched together. It's like, man, it almost feels like it's almost hard to pick a quarterback that's gonna kind of stand out. Everybody's gonna kind of get you some points in that middle range, but like as the season progresses and more of these like backups are coming out and injuries are kind of piling up and guys are probably getting tired and figuring out the schemes. Like these bad quarterback performances are kind of like I think we're really kind of getting to the part of the season when we're gonna get some really dynamic bad QB performances.
It's been a fun year.
It has.
It's been a fun year as far as
man.
changes and quarterback, like, trades and guys getting injured and new opportunities opening up for this league. Not that I would ever encourage people getting injured, but it does make this more interesting.
Unpredictability.
Yeah. And speaking of Joe Flacco, has he been bad? I mean, this guy
really has.
This guy won the Super Bowl and was given a huge contract extension right afterwards. Like, he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. And now he's just been like shit. And I don't know if you can blame it so much on him or the rest of his team, but it seems like he's just not that good. And I think that's similarly happening to Eli Manning. And it seems the Giants are wanting to move on from him too.
There's a story there.
I was reading some stuff about that this week. I don't know if that's just New York media just stirring shit up, though.
I never know. Well, I think that whole team is in disarray. Their head coach Bob McAdoo's in some real tough straight.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's tough.
Manning was the top undrafted last week with 17 points.
It's been
I could see him being
Giants.
picked a lot more often as the season goes
They're
on.
Just so bad.
Does Baltimore have a bye this week? I can't seem to find
might.
who they're playing.
We're still on, I think, 14 buys still.
Let's see. Yes, they do.
Okay, so that'll take Flacco out of the mix.
Baltimore's one of those teams, though, where, yeah, sure, Joe Flacco hasn't been playing very well. I mean, there's probably no denying that. But you look at it, they don't have much of an established run game. Each week you got guys coming in at their position. They've got they got someone coming off the injured reserve this week. Woodhead's coming back.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he got injured against the Bengals.
That's actually huge because he was tearing us up.
Yeah, he was
for
good.
The 2 quarters he played.
Real good.
Us.
He was their starting running back, and they got injured for like 8 weeks. So in between, they had Buck Allen come in, who was like, a runner, but nothing too special. So they don't get a running game going.
He ran as well as a guy who is named Buck Allen, as well as you would expect him to run.
And his real name is Javorius, so.
Travarius.
Javorius
You
Allen.
should go by that.
His nickname's
like
Buck.
That's way better than Buck.
Yeah.
Devorius Rex.
It's good. But they really can't get a run game to establish any kind of downfield passing. And I can't quote on what their offensive line looks like, but I think it would be probably safe to say that it's not great. But I mean,
crazy, man.
When you don't have a run game, you have to pass the ball a lot. Like the Cardinals, they don't want Stanton to throw the ball 47 times because they know he's a backup quarterback, but they have to because they're coming from behind.
Because they bailed on Andre Ellington, even though he's the best running back in the league.
He's a great running back.
I'm just kidding.
Catches a lot of balls.
Since Flacco's out next week, and we don't really have that option, I say let's move on to. Sorry, did you have anything to add there, Tony?
No.
All right. Next, we're going from the bottom up this week just because. Taylor went with candy ass bitch Dalton.
Ooh.
Oh man.
And I have to say that's a good pick. And
yeah, I mean,
at this point, it didn't work out as great as she would have wanted, but
7.28
points
but,
is.
I mean, Dalton was 10 for 18, 136. Just a very benign game because the Bengals they had just zero offense. There was no opportunity for him to even do anything wrong because we couldn't do anything at all.
Sitting in front of her computer, looking at quarterbacks before the game happened at possible great outcomes for her, this was top of my list. I thought I drafted before Taylor, and I thought about taking Dalton because the Jacksonville Jaguars are the #1 defense in all of football. After 9 weeks of football before this past game, it's pretty much confirmed that they are that. It's not a fluke. Mm-hmm. They have the most sacks I think like
and the offensive line of the Bengals is trash. It's terrible.
It's terrible, right? It's really bad, and they're on the road in Jacksonville, scuffling off of a terrible Pittsburgh loss.
And we won money off that game too.
We did.
We bet against the Bengals.
Unfortunately, but I can't blame Taylor for taking Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great pick. Sometimes doesn't work out for you.
Especially being third to last in the drafted.
Great value, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the few weeks I really considered taking Andy Dalton.
I don't think I've ever taken Dalton in this league because I just can't. But
good man.
Because honestly, I'm really not, because I don't think that's Dalton's fault. So I'd hate to shoulder him with even more,
guilt
shit, by picking him.
Dalton this week. The Titans have been proven to be a pretty solid defense as well.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Man.
It could be a good pick. I mean, it's a risky pick if you're towards the end of the draft and you're looking for a guy that could pop. But Dalton, if you look at his stats, he always has those yardage. We watch the game every single snap, so we see every bad throw he makes, every single thing that he does wrong. But I think every quarterback does that wrong.
No.
Well, I think let me rephrase that. I think a lot of quarterbacks make bad passes throughout the game. We just don't see them because we don't watch the games.
Right, but a lot of quarterbacks make better passes than Andy does too.
How many yards did he throw for last week?
186, you say?
A bad amount. 136.
136.
Okay, that is not very great. So,
but he also didn't have AJ Green for almost the whole game because he.
So if you're so reliant on
quarterback,
just AJ Green,
then the rest of your receivers suck.
Apparently,
and because they won't put John Ross in because for some inexplicable reason.
Now, if Austin was on the podcast right now, he would rip the mic away from
me.
He would rip the microphone away from me and talk about John Ross and how he's not playing well, and it's a problem. But again, like I said, the Bengals don't establish a great run game. So they force Andy Dalton to make passes into pass defenses. Like they're dropping back knowing he's going to pass the ball. And when that's the case, it forces your quarterback to make bad passes, tough passes, and I just don't know if that's going to work. You got to get some kind of run game going.
But okay, but that doesn't explain why John Ross is not starting.
I have no idea why he's not starting. Or even,
I mean, honestly,
dress. He's not even dressed.
It's Marvin has to go, guys. I don't know how many times I have to say it.
He has to. If this isn't the season for it, I don't know what it is.
I mean, I know that we're all hypnotized as Cincinnati fans to think, but what about the 90s? How bad they were? We can't go back to the 90s.
We're on our way.
And Marvin's never had us. Marvin's taken us out of the 90s, and everyone's so afraid that we'll go back if we change coaches. Guys, you can't just sit there and say, "Oh, season 17 that'll be different. Season 18 will be different." That is delusional.
Marvin has shown us his best. It's time to move on. Let's.
We missed the window.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Nope.
Kind of in the middle of the thing. That was my fault. As a constant Marvin Lewis kind of supporter in a way, apologist. I've heard that word before. I will even say I think it's time for Marvin to go because we need a new culture. Something's not working.
Yeah,
his body language on the sidelines isn't great. We just got hit with a message from Austin Rabaugh in the group me. And he actually tagged me in it, which he's very knowledgeable because he knows that's the only way that I would really get this on the spot. So good, yeah. Kudos to you, Austin, for knowing me. He said, "No, quote, no, I would get pissed at dumbass Marvin Lewis and the rest of the coaching staff for only playing him," alluding to John Ross, for 11 total plays all year. So like I said, Austin has a lot to say about this. So like I said last week, he needs to get his own podcast, hot takes with the image from Gator, and he would be able to talk about John Ross all day.
Hot snakes
with Austin Rabaugh.
So all right, let's stay on the Bengals a little bit actually, and let's. It sounds like McCarron wants out. That's what I've heard. What?
No, he's just doing what's best for him financially and professionally.
And so, leaving would be best for him
He
financially.
knows
so
he's gone after this year anyway.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
So he might
Probably.
as well try to get full unrestricted free agent status, because that's a really big deal. You get paid a lot more by doing that. So his agent's probably like, yeah, we can get our lawyers together and we'll.
Where do you think he'll go? You think?
There's so many teams out there with
you know
needs
what?
of quarterbacks.
Right.
There was a crazy article today. I went to ESPN.com, a website that I almost never go to. And the front page was, it was like, we predict every quarterback for every team in 2020.
Whoa.
So it was an article of them just predicting who would be the quarterback of each team in 2020.
That's kind of cool.
Guess who the Bengals was?
McCarron?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah. Because he's not the problem. It's everything around him that's the problem.
Exactly.
I'll agree with that. I really think at the end of the day, Andy is a good quarterback, but to avoid picking him in this league this year, as with his surrounding options, it might be a mistake. I think with his bad offensive line, his lack of receivers, he doesn't really have much of a choice but to score negative points.
Yeah. No, as the season progresses and the Bengals fall more and more out of contention and they lose hope and they see themselves falling down the standings, the more attractive he becomes.
Yeah.
The more attractive he becomes, because at the beginning of the year you're playing teams and it's an unknown thing. Like Cam Newton, for example, he started the year as a good quarterback in football. You know, people think he's a great quarterback, and then towards that middle chunk of the season, he actually was kind of a poor quarterback, aside from a couple performances. Like, as the season progresses, you can see these guys mature into what their season is going to be like. So a guy like let's talk about Josh McCown for a second. Start of the year, you wanted to make a jersey for Josh McCown.
I still
commemorating
Now we
him.
should
I know.
make a shrine to
A
him.
shrine,
Dude,
because he is a legitimate quarterback in the NFL now. He's
It's
playing
crazy, man.
very well.
The New York Jets are just pissing on everybody who pissed on them all through the offseason.
It's so funny because we talked at the beginning of the season how terrible the Jets were going
We
to be.
thought they're like 0-16, 100%
Yeah,
right.
0-16.
And I hate to see you go, McCown, but I wish you the best of luck, because you've been our poster boy for so long.
Is he
and
hurt?
No.
Yeah, he's just playing good.
I'm saying goodbye to him in the bad quarterback league because he's a good quarterback now, and no one's gonna pick him. So I'm saying goodbye.
That's the greatest honor that a bad quarterback
Right,
can ever get.
right. And I hate it because I want to see him back in this league.
You got to be proud of him, though, for rising
Happy
out.
for him, for
Rising
sure.
out of the ashes.
Uh-oh. You know what I just said? I said for sure.
For sure.
For sure. I need a beer.
Oh,
You're
no. All right, Tony. Let me see. Name 5 members of Real Big Fish. Any member ever.
Oh, my God. I don't need Aaron Barrett.
Yep.
Matt Wong.
Yep.
Scotty.
Yep.
Does that
That's
count?
good enough.
What's the fucking drummer's name?
You can do it.
Rabbit.
I'll take it. Ryland Rabbit is his nickname. Come on, you got one more.
Dan Regan.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Nice
I wasn't sure
work.
if Dan Regan was a thing.
Oh, man, you got the trombone player.
I'm impressed with myself. There.
Good work, man. Jeez.
Wow, that was actually a very good beer run question,
That's really good.
because there were definitely only 5 I was going to get. There was no way I could had 8.
I'm going to steal your glass.
You get beer like you pee, dude. That is crazy. That is fast.
I just had to open
What
a
is
bottle.
that?
This is a
Lambic.
a quadruple ale. No. So it's
A quadruple ale?
yeah, it's a Belgian quad. It's
Oh my
So
god.
it's a 84% alcohol.
it's about 10%.
This is how I disinfect.
It's a
my
mini bottle of
bathroom.
wine.
Actually, the funny thing is I was picking this up, and they were having a trivia thing going on at the time while I was out getting some beer, and one of the questions was, like, this barley wine holds the record for the highest alcohol percentage by volume. What is that percent? I'm gonna both of you take a guess.
Or what that beer is?
No, what
Barley
the highest beer in the world. What is the highest ABV?
Whoa. 28%.
I'm waiting for Tony's answer.
24%.
You're both way low.
Oh,
60%.
Closer.
69%.
Nice.
Just
dude.
a little too high.
Oh,
67.
It always is. I made me too high.
67%.
67% holds the record for the highest.
That has to be recalibrated as not a beer, right? It's got to be a different
proof,
genre of
130
liqueur.
proof
Technically,
beer.
it's
So this is a barley wine.
no. This is a Belgian
That
quad.
is-
It looks darker than
That's a sleep on your couch
Jeez,
beer.
oh look at that thing.
That's what's gonna happen, man.
That looks like a sleep on my couch kind of beer. Yeah, I bet. Check that out.
Well,
All right. Well,
pretty good.
I just wanted to bring this up. I don't know how optimistic you are about the Bengals, but they play the Titans on the road, followed by the Broncos on the road.
Ooh.
Who
that's terrible.
Broncos, Mr. Brock Osweiler
Oh.
at the helm.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bengals could get a win.
That's
there.
what got Marianne 30 points, right?
And then
We'll talk about
Yes.
that later. We'll get there.
and then they play the Browns at home. That should be a win.
Well, who knows, man?
God.
How dare
Oh
you.
my god. Oh my
You
god.
believe this?
Oh.
No, it should be. It
But
should
then,
be.
so I mean, if you think it's over now, you can think that. But I think we'll really know against the Steelers.
What we're saying is we still have a chance to win the Super
Oh,
Bowl this
boy.
year.
December 4th. December 4th
I don't know
against the
about that.
Steelers. It's what is that? It's not Monday night, is it? Or is it Sunday night? What's
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Oh my god.
ESPN.
Yeah, no way. Not a chance, dude.
Where do you see that?
Dun 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 dun. Right
Oh
there.
shit, you're right.
Dun dun dun
Not a
dun
chance.
dun.
So if they somehow win that game, they're still got a chance.
Nope.
Because then they play the Bears, and then the Vikings and the Lions and the Ravens.
I'm calling a loss this week against the Titans.
Yeah, it's gonna be here.
That would probably end the
Yeah.
season right there.
It's gonna be tough sledding from here on out for the Bengals because they're not improving in any facet of the game. When AJ Green loses his cool, you know something's not great. You can just tell body language. Nobody there on the sidelines, even if they're down. Like last game, we'll kind of wrap up Bengals here in a second, but they were down. They were in that game until the very end. They were down by like a score and a half, maybe 10 points at times, but they just looked so defeated. Yeah. Same thing in the Pittsburgh game. They were in that game until the fourth quarter.
But dude,
it felt like we were down by 50.
I've seen that look so many times.
Yeah.
Over so many years of Bengals football.
It's time for a change. It's time for a change.
Yeah.
Marvin's gone.
It has to be. Has to be
All
a
right.
change.
Next on the list was me with Brett Humble Bundle Hunley. I only got 5 points out of it, but I'll be honest, this was a rushed pick. I was in the middle of brewing, and but I'm a little surprised. I thought I was getting a good value out of Hunley, being that late in the draft.
Yeah.
I was okay with that pick. I was hoping for 12. That was my goal, but I'll take positive points.
To be honest here, what happened was he wasn't playing well. I watched most of that game, and he really, a lot of what we talked about today, not a lot of protection, not a lot of run game, forced to make a lot of passes. And what happened was, I think it was Ty Montgomery made a really great run down the sidelines and got knocked down at like the 3-yard line or something like that.
And then he threw one in.
No, he rushed one in.
Oh,
he
fuck.
quarterback sneaked it on the 1.
Fuck.
So literally, because that was the only play they could do. So he literally had a rushing touchdown on a quarterback sneak on the goal line. So
That's
in
terrible.
itself
Dude.
took a lot of points away.
He's so bad. He in his 3 games that he's played, he has 1 passing touchdown and 4 picks. He's so bad. And he plays the Bears this week.
Good defense.
And take it from somebody who has him and is starting him on his
Yikes.
actual fantasy.
Yikes.
I'm so concerned this week because the Bears defense is like criminally underrated.
Yeah.
Even though their team is not that good,
Mhm.
the Bears defense is good. He's gonna
And
get fucked
Bears
up.
versus Packers. It's got some extra hype to it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's rivalry going
Yeah.
back for many years. So
Yeah, I wish. I wish I almost didn't know that information because I didn't watch
Sorry.
the game or anything like
If he
that.
didn't
and
punch that in, it would have been a great day for you.
that would have been about 12 points,
But
and that's what I needed.
that's the problem with these guys like Brent Hundley. Brissett's kind of dropping off our radar a little bit. The
Shouldn't
guys
be.
that can get outside the pocket are scary because they always have that problem against a defense. They can always break that up where if you're in doubt, these kind of teams that aren't very good, you have a busted play. These guys are athletic enough to be able to make a play and maybe rush it in,
run.
something like that, and that ruins your whole day.
Yeah.
So he's a guy that I'm going to try to stay away from the rest of the season.
Well, let's see who they're playing next week. Bears? That's what you just said? Yeah.
This week they're playing the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which is
he's
his
gonna
first.
he's going to be a top pick this week, I would say.
Could be, but I'm saying I'm staying away from Brett Hundley. I think that was his first career start, NFL start, wasn't it?
No, I don't know. I mean, he threw 33 passes in the Minnesota game, then he threw 20.
Maybe that, okay.
He started.
Rodgers got hurt
I think
a couple weeks ago. Okay,
I think this is his, that was his second start.
Okay.
I think because Rodgers got hurt really early in week 6. And then he started 7, and then they had a bye in 8, and then week 9. So this will be his third start now.
All right, next up we've got John with Kirk. Fuck Jimmy G Cousins.
Took a specific shot at Garoppolo there.
And John did well with 23 points.
Put up a big week.
Yeah.
Who'd they play?
Seattle in a 17-14 victory.
I'd imagine that's what kind of pushed him to pick him.
In a game where Seattle just had so many injuries. Did you see that? Like Sherman.
That was last night.
Yeah.
Sherman tore his Achilles last night.
Not a week ago. Yeah.
Oh, no
yeah.
shit. Okay, you're right. Well, that's something to think about, though, because Seattle's defense is not going to be as good now because Sherman's gone, and didn't Chancellor get carted off or something?
Chancellor's gone. I think Earl Thomas is hurt, too.
So Washington's playing Minnesota next week. I don't see anyone picking Cousins.
He got sacked. Cousins got sacked 6 times.
That's huge.
Wow.
And lost a fumble, it looks like.
That's huge. That's where a lot of those points came from. Yeah, I don't see anyone picking Cousins against Minnesota. I think Minnesota, we want to believe, has a really good defense, but they're not producing like we think they should,
Yeah. They had a good start to the season.
Minnesota's interesting. Yeah, they're kind of my number 2 team because I always look at Zimmer. I wonder where the Bengals could have gone if they would have went with Zimmer and sort of moved on from Marvin and promoted Zimmer to head coach. But yeah, it's weird. The quarterback stuff for them has just been so crazy, the way that they've sort of shuffled through these 3 quarterbacks.
And let's talk about that a little bit now that we're kind of on it, because they have officially put Sam Bradford on the injured reserve, so his season's over. So no longer Sam Bradford, who was he was a good player for the first couple of weeks of the season. Case Keenum is on their squad, and we know what Case Keenum brings to the table. He could be up, but mostly down, but he could surprise you some weeks. But Teddy Bridgewater coming from
is he starting?
Really, really, really significant knee injury is activated. Now, I don't know if he's starting officially because he might not be in football shape and all that kind of thing.
But they're sort of been content with what Keenum's been doing.
Keenum seems to be the guy, but Bridgewater is going to be coming into the fold here soon. So it's interesting to see, Minnesota's quarterback situation. Bridgewater's their guy, but it kind of depends on his health. But
I think Bridgewater will be a good pick for the first week or 2 that he's back. But I think Taylor loves to pick him for some reason, and he always does well whenever she does. So I don't know. I think Bridgewater has the stuff to be good, but the first couple weeks back, he might be shaking off some rust.
Well, yeah, and if he comes back, that would be remarkable because he had a similar injury to Zach Miller.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Last week where he almost lost his leg, and that was a similar injury that Bridgewater had, and they weren't sure if he was going to be able to play again, and now he's ready to be activated.
I'll tell you what, that shit's scary, man.
Football's not an easy sport.
I just can't believe they took the touchdown away. That's what I'm pissed about. Give him the touchdown. That should have been a touchdown. He almost lost his leg.
But add that to the why you're rooting for the Vikings column, because if you're not rooting for Teddy Bridgewater, something's up, man. What's wrong with you? You got to root for that guy.
He's a good dude.
So next up we have Drew, who went with the Thursday quarterback, and Brian put this name in here after the fact. Josh, turns out I'm good now, McCown. We've already hinted on this.
Yeah, got a negative score there. Huh?
But I think this week was got Drew
negative 4.8.
Yeah, which I think this week was the one that solidified. Yeah, hey,
you can't pick McCown.
Let's stop picking McCown unless he's going up against some sort of really good defense. But
I mean, still don't buy it.
So he's put up double-digit points 3 times. But that's not where. Through 9 games. That's not enough.
No.
For elite bad quarterback.
No,
You can't count on him.
which is crazy.
In the last 3 weeks, he's been consistently not a good pick.
I think that's how Marianne has gotten us this year. Is we've had these biases of bad quarterbacks.
It's been ingrained into our heads.
And Marianne comes in here with a blank slate and just wipes the fucking table, man.
It's true.
But just for
indulge us.
Yeah, like Russell Wilson, who's in traditional fantasy football is the number 1 player.
Yeah, he's like
in fantasy football,
you want him.
scoring wise. He's had 1, 2, 3, 4 games in double digits, 19, 16, 17, 25. And he also has a 5 and that's it. So, you look at these guys' stats, it's like,
wow,
sure, you're never going to pick these guys. Like he's among that list of quarterbacks. You're not drafting it no matter what. McCown, in my mind, is done. Don't draft him until he completely shits the bed multiple weeks, like where he proves that he is going back to his old ways. Because something in that Jets locker room, whether it's they're getting the run game on track, offensive line, coaching, whatever it is, they're on a run. They're hot. So, like, I'm staying away from McCown. I don't care if it's the 12th pick of the draft and they're going against Indianapolis. Damn. I'm saying that.
Wow.
McCown's a guy you want to – not Indianapolis.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A good defense.
Yeah, right.
We know what you mean.
Yeah,
Right.
Let me shift this to, like, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I'm not picking him because I think he's going to score good points in this league.
That's bold. That's a bold statement. Right
bad points.
Yeah, it is.
God, I'm going to –
No, we know what you mean, man. We know what you mean.
So, stay away from McCown.
We all understand.
Nobody's picking him this week.
You got another beer run question?
Yeah, let me think of one for you, Aaron.
Oh boy, here we go.
Aaron, name 5 Cincinnati breweries.
Clearly, Rheingeist, Mad Tree. We have Woodburn Brewery. We have Doghead. Dogberry is what it is, and then we have 8 Ball Brewery, which is closed now.
Yep,
and then we have shit. Unbelievable.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to get
though.
those.
That was quick. That was really quick.
That was quick. But what? All right, let's hear the 5th one.
I went at normal speed.
The what?
I want to hear a 5th one.
The what?
Come on.
Oh man.
You couldn't name 5, and 8 Ball was one of the 4.
Braxton. I guess that would count.
Sure.
Braxton would have been a good one.
We have 42, I believe.
Oh wow.
42.
I feel really ashamed. Yeah, that was a good question.
Could have said West
Good
Side.
one.
That was a good one.
All right, I got to take a tea. So you guys continue.
Tony, name 5 different ones.
I didn't hear what he said.
All right, name 5 breweries.
Mad Tree.
Okay.
Rheingeist.
Yeah.
Dogberry.
Okay. So far, you've said all the ones he has.
Really?
Yeah.
Rivertown.
Okay.
Bad Tom Smith.
Yep, nailed it. That's 5. Right
Easy.
there.
Moorline.
Yep.
Taft.
Yep.
Get at me.
Tony
Urban
knows him.
Artifact?
He knows him. There you go. There you go.
Once you hit the goal and you're not under the gun anymore,
It's
they
easier.
Start flowing.
It's easier.
Isn't that funny how that works?
All right, let's move on. Aaron will catch up here. Lauren went with Jacoby Pissett.
Oh, got him.
Who'd they go up against last week?
Houston.
That's a good pick.
And
She ended up.
Brissett
Oh, but she got
had
negative.
quite the game.
Yeah, -5 points.
The Colts got off the schneid after a 3-game losing streak.
Man, the Colts are bad though.
They're terrible. And fuck you, Jim Irsay, and the rest of the Colts for pretending like Andrew Luck would ever play this season and fucking up.
We're gonna
my
hear about
fantasy
this
season.
every week. We're gonna hear about this every week.
Even
Tony, I don't
even
care
though-
about your real fantasy
even
season,
though
man.
I dropped Andrew Luck for Josh Gordon, which is just it. The prophecy will be complete because Josh Gordon will come back in week 14, which just happens to be
And be suspended week 15.
Week 13, which just happens to be the first week of our playoffs.
He'll be suspended.
And I'm gonna start him right off the first week.
You better, because that's the only week that you'll have him.
And he's gonna score 40 points.
Good for you, man.
Aaron would agree. Josh Gordon's gonna score 40 points in his return.
Disagree.
We don't care about Josh Gordon in this league, man. Aaron, we were talking about Jacoby Brissett and how he did well.
Brissett's a solid quarterback. Surprise.
But the Colts are bad.
Colts are bad. Brissett puts up good numbers.
Yeah.
I'm staying away from him because he can get outside the pocket.
And you hate you're racist.
You really hate those
black quarterbacks.
If a white guy can get outside the pocket, I'm staying away from him.
Who are the Colts going up against next week here?
Colts and Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Ooh, so do you take him this week?
That's a pretty good matchup.
It's a home game
for the Colts.
Not that it matters because the Colts are one of the worst football teams I've seen in quite some time.
Alex.
And the Bengals beat them by 1 point. Just want to remind everybody.
Yeah, that was a close one. Which we should have taken that line. We would have won. That's exactly what I told you, man.
Some of us still had some optimistic brain cells.
That's exactly what I told you. I said the Bengals are going to win, but not by 7.
You don't have to rub it in. You're 100% right.
Brissett's going to be one of those cats. Sorry, I kind of cut you off again.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Let's move this along. I don't want to hear your bants.
Brissett is one of those cats where he's going to have those weeks where you make a killing. I remember I drafted Brissett twice this year, I think. One of the weeks he scored 28.6, and the other time he scored 6. So, like,
ooh,
that's the fluctuation, right? It's like guys like him.
Yeah, you drafted him the week they played the Browns.
The very first week he started is the week
on the way home from the lake.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know, something about these guys. Brissett kind of makes me nervous. I know that he plays for a really bad team, but something about athleticism at the quarterback position clearly scares me.
What scares me is the fact that we've had so many injuries and we have all these new guys that I just don't have enough data on, and from like anecdotal data. I need to see them fuck up a few times before I feel comfortable picking them. And now there's so many options out there that it's a conundrum. I don't know what to do.
The way I look at it is anybody who wasn't starting at the beginning of the season, more often than not, is not as good as the person that they were behind.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
You should feel confident in drafting somebody who's making their first start because somebody got hurt or something like that. Like, you should not hesitate to do that because, like we've seen, it's really difficult to be a quarterback who's good.
No, I agree, but at this point, because we have so many options, which of these new guys that are just now starting do you take?
Right.
I see what you're saying. It's just abundance of riches right
now. Exactly.
It's the ice cream dilemma where you walk into a store with 32 flavors and you end up feeling more disappointed than the one that had choices. 3. Yeah.
Even this week, we got guys coming out like Ryan Fitzpatrick's coming in the fold. Jameis Winston's out
Ooh,
for at least.
Fitzpatrick is my runner-up for McCown. He's my
there you go.
He's my number 2.
So he's coming back in the fold. Winston's out for what the doctors are saying at least 2 weeks. I think he's going to be out for longer than that. Maybe even the rest of the season.
Juicy choice.
He's going up against the Jets, which is his former team.
Ooh.
So that's
maybe he'll have a good
really interesting week.
Fitzpatrick has strung together some good weeks in the past.
He had a great season with the Jets. I mean, the first I think it was 2014 maybe took him to the playoffs.
That's what that Harvard education will get for you.
I made that meme last year of Fitzpatrick when I photoshopped his face on Patrick from SpongeBob when he's answering the phone. He's like, "No, this is Fitzpatrick."
Solid meme.
Real good. Real
history
good.
Of memes in the group.
Yeah, that's
only we could have got
that
job. Meme captured in real time.
I know.
I fully apologize.
I sent it to you, right? You should bring it up. Put it on the screen.
Hello.
While we move on, while we talk about,
I don't know if I can do that.
Fine. Aaron, you're next. You went with Jay Butler Cutler.
Bad. I was on the road. I had to quickly come up with a nickname.
I have a problem. Great. I don't have a problem with the Butler. I have a problem with the fact that you said Butler Cutler rather than just Jay Butler. Just replace the last name.
I like the traditional approach.
I'll allow it.
Whatever.
Yeah, his name's Jay Cutler. I mean, I think you got to draft the quarterback. It's like
what? Yeah, you
Jay Cutler, Jay blank Cutler.
Aaron's big on rhymes.
He is.
And
butts.
Yeah, I didn't do my poopy doopy mishmash creamy pie,
which I applaud you.
Veiny fart stuff,
I think it's great.
What do you think about that GIF of you that
Loved it.
shot for the AMC
Loved
video?
Loved it. I felt like a movie star.
I never pulled that one out.
It was really
It kind of scared me because I'm like,
really
Tony must have like a folder.
Oh, they're in the bank.
He has a folder of it a ton of clips, I'm sure, from at least that project.
I have a great one of you laying down to bed with beer cans all around you.
Stages, of course. That between that and the WWE DVD news, you got all kinds. All kinds of content.
You got to whip those out more often, man.
Hey, I try to put them at the best times at peak like times. You got to make sure you post in the group.
Those things, those ones of actual people are guaranteed likes, man. Of people that we know, guaranteed likes.
Taylor said she wanted a GIF, and I told her she got to give me content.
Yeah, that's true,
send
Taylor.
Me some content.
I a good Snapchat today. That's some good content of Taylor.
Well, Gator, speaking of whipping it out, I thought Jay Cutler was going to have a worse week than Louis C.K. this week.
Oh.
And clearly that wasn't the case. This is a huge week for me.
300 yards and 3 dingers.
This is a huge week for me because he had minus 11.22. And at the time, I'm like, oh, wait, I'm going to be pretty savvy. I'm going to sneak in and get Cutler, who was very questionable to start. And he had sore ribs.
3 broken ribs or some shit?
Yeah, coming off of the ribs. And the Dolphins just traded Ajayi.
I hear broken ribs are supposed to be, like, really painful.
And it's supposed to linger.
And the problem with broken ribs is like a lot of other bones, you can like reinforce them together with like bones around them, but with ribs you can't. So it's just like they're just broken now.
Didn't Cam wear that like girdle, like that Cam Newton wear that like big old?
I think so.
He had
like a bunch of padding.
Yeah.
Area. But goddamn, can you imagine? Jesus.
No,
Christ.
man.
So I felt really confident picking Jay Cutler. I thought it was kind of a savvy pick because nobody was really thinking about him.
And to add on to that, he has not had a negative game this entire season until this past week.
And I haven't picked him, and he's coming off an injury. They just lost Jay Ajayi. They aren't looking good. It's a Thursday night game, and I know those are volatile. I know that.
He had thrown an interception in 5 straight games.
I know. I actually spent way too much time looking at this pick because the stats
said it was a good one.
The thing that bothered me was the Thursday thing, and there's a real thing going on about these Thursday quarterbacks.
Everybody's freaked out about them.
And I thought I took a chance because maybe this time it would be a really big catastrophe, and I would get a big week. But clearly it didn't work out.
Didn't play for you.
Literally the first half, he did not have one incompletion. He was like 15 for 15 with a touchdown in the first half, and I was watching this game. Watching him to fail. I wanted him. I was like watching the game only to see him fail. And after this first half, I turned it off. I'm like, I'm just going to get what I get.
See, that's great for me because ever since we made that bet, I almost don't care about winning the league anymore. I just want to beat you.
This is as bad as it could get, I think.
This
is one of the worst weeks, I think, in the whole season, isn't it? 11 points?
No, John got like negative 20 or something at one point.
Who?
John.
Oh.
He got like negative 22 or something like that.
Yeah, you got a bad one.
Well, I picked first this week, so
like
I got to redeem myself.
You do. Yeah, what are you thinking?
I've been up and down all year long.
What are you thinking about right now? Because
I don't know.
No one can steal this from you.
Yeah, you're the first pick.
The gut reaction is Brock Osweiler because he's just a really bad quarterback, but he's got a squishy D. Let's see, who is he playing?
Squishy drink.
Squishy, shoot. He plays for the Broncos, and the Broncos are playing the Patriots, who has a bad pass defense, and that's well documented.
Down at the bottom of Fantasy Pros rankings, but it looks like your number 1 pick since Drew Stanton's gone. Probably Tom Savage.
Well, so you're so hot on the Jaguars. What about Phil Rivers?
Oh, yeah. That could be a sneaky pick there.
Could be a sneaky pick.
Not number 1.
Don't know if that's the number 1 pick overall.
In Jacksonville, going from West Coast to East Coast, that's not easy.
Not easy. Teams. That's going to be a really good coup for someone that's picking behind me.
That's an Austin Rabaugh pick. Austin loves to pick Rivers.
That's a real good coup for the
So does Alex, though.
Top 5, but it's between Osweiler. Savage is going to be a great choice. I'm staying away from the Fitzpatrick kind of thing because that whole thing kind of scares me. I don't know, man. It's kind of between those guys right now. I am leaning Osweiler just because of his track record, but you just never know. Beat hard, Eli.
Right. We'll see that. We'll see how
if
that
Eli
goes.
even starts this week, who knows?
Do you buy the whole San Francisco's coach saying that they might not play Garoppolo this year, or do you think that's just coach speak?
No, I buy it. I kind of do, because
why would they trade for him though? Because
because they want him to be the quarterback of the future. Is kind of a cliche, but they want him to be a successful quarterback, and to throw him into a 1-9 situation or 1 and whatever they're going to be.
But his contract's up this year.
I think they're going to try to resign him.
That's crazy.
Why would they trade for him? They're clearly not going to win this year, right?
That's what I'm saying. Why? I mean, why would he be any more motivated to sign with them than anyone else? Because they're just saying, we commit to you, and he.
Yeah, because they're going to show him a ton of money. They're probably going to give him a lot of money to be their quarterback.
Crazy.
That's
crazy.
If he shows them things that they like,
that's crazy.
It's not out of the question.
Is he good? Do you think he's good? Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo will be successful?
Oh, it's so hard to think, right? We've seen him.
You will.
Played a couple times.
Will he be top 15? Will he be one better than
in our
50%?
league?
Better than 50%? No, just better than 50% of the quarterbacks.
When next year?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a top 20 quarterback, but it's going to be a struggle at first.
In 2 years.
So he's going to be around the Andy Dalton range.
Yeah. Flacco, him, Flacco, Dalton, Cousins kind of thing.
So
but
good enough to start, but not good enough to beat you.
Right. If they think they're getting Deshaun Watson, better think again, because he's not that cat. I mean, it's clear.
He's not the one.
All right. Next up is Tom, who had a rough week last week because he initially picked.
Ooh.
And then quickly found out that Palmer wasn't playing, so he had to essentially lose his draft pick, move all the way down to last, and go with Derek Carr, who ended up getting him 4 points. So the worst things could have happened.
Yeah, he could have picked Jay Cutler.
Yeah, he could have. Which
Derek
honestly,
Carr.
that really messes with my draft value. I did not change Tom's points.
Yeah, you might have to throw this week out.
I just left
for
it in
Tom.
there as if he was choosing where he started.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was going to pick him, though.
Well, that's why you got to pick him, because no one did pick him. That's why he went last.
He had
That's
13th
right.
pick, basically.
Yeah, right. Because he picked, and then, but Tom was on his way up to Columbus, and he called me, and he's like, can I pick someone new? I was like, you got to wait until the end of the draft, and then Tom was like, whatever, fuck it. Tom didn't really care. Tom, I want to call you out. I want you to get more active in the group me.
Look at him.
Thomas.
Your mic stands in the way. This
Thomas.
is real.
There you go.
I need you to get more active in the group me, man.
Yep.
You got to focus. This is important. This is more important than your piano lessons, than your music lessons.
It's all.
All right? It's all about fantasy football. Okay?
Yeah. Good message.
Focus.
Yeah.
Get your nicknames better.
Ooh, man. Whew. It's getting hot here now.
But, yeah, so Derek Carr, 4 points. Derek Carr's a good quarterback, and it's actually the second week in a row he's been picked, because I picked him the week before with last pick, I believe. But he got me a few points. So, I'll avoid Derek Carr for the most part. The only reason I chose him last week was because of who he was playing against, and I don't even remember who it is now. But yeah, Derek Carr's pretty good. He's no longer a bad quarterback.
Someone I'd stay away from.
Yeah, and also they're on a bye this week, and then they come back against New England, who has a shitty defense, as we learned earlier from Aaron's defense segment.
Avoid him
for that.
Avoid him.
So yeah, no need to pay any attention to Mr. Derek Carr.
All right, Alex is up next with CJ Beat That Meat Hard.
Woo, bird.
And I want to challenge someone to draft him and not use some sort of beating the meat.
Masturbation
Yeah.
reference.
Oh,
Although
boy.
now you have
You can call him Lucy K.
CJ, CK. I mean, it's just too easy, dude.
By the way, did anyone read that?
Oh my gosh.
Read the article and find out that Louis C.K.'s publicist is named Louis K.
Okay.
Wow. That almost sounds fake.
Yeah.
I lost my mind.
That was the joke that was going around. Like, did someone just is he pretending to be his own publicist? And they were just like, oh, what's your name? Louis K.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I read that and just I was baffled.
Yeah.
That was more shocking than him masturbating in front of a bunch of people.
That's because we live in a simulation, so that's how this works.
Oh my gosh.
Too funny. What were we even talking about?
CJ
beat that meat hard. Yeah, how did he do? Alex got 29 freaking points.
He's good
because he's 51 passes, 24 completions.
I don't even know who Beathard plays for.
Niners.
49ers.
I haven't had a chance. Okay,
the team.
I would say the worst
team that has not won a game this season.
They're terrible, dude.
They're 0-9.
At least they're not the worst team in the league because that's reserved for the Browns.
But technically, the Browns are not as bad because the Browns are 0-8.
Okay, fair point. But the Browns are much worse because they're from Cleveland.
So who gets a win first?
I was just about to ask the same question.
49ers.
Well, who are the Browns playing this
the
week?
Niners play the Giants this week. That's a win.
That could be a win. That's a toilet bowl if I've ever
terrible.
seen one. Holy crap.
And Cleveland's playing Detroit.
Yeah, they're not.
No,
they're not
not
gonna
this
win that.
week.
Sorry, guys.
If anyone's winning this week, it's San
Wow.
Francisco. Freaking Detroit. Okay. Next up is Tom Savage. Brian, I think I'm gonna vom Savage. Got him 26
that.
freaking points.
Huge game. 19 for 44. Whew.
Tom Savage.
He's still got DeAndre Hopkins involved.
19 for 44.
Hopkins still caught a touchdown.
Dude. So all his points came from incompletions, essentially.
Yes.
That's nuts,
He did
dude.
not throw a pick.
Who'd they play?
That's nuts, dude.
Who did they play?
Indianapolis.
You're
Oh,
telling
wow.
me 26 points with no
No picks.
picks.
They
Damn,
lost?
Brian.
Whoa.
That makes up for your 40-yard rush game right
Tom
there.
Savage even admitted after the game that he basically, like, I think he literally said that he sucked. Like, that was the exact quote.
That's
He was like,
terrible,
"I
dude.
sucked."
That's
rough.
terrible. Last but not least, Marianne with Cock Osweiler. She got to go first, so obviously she got Brock, and it got her 30 freaking points.
Pretty
I
good.
mean,
Pretty easy pick.
The most predictable thing that would happen ever. Because Brock Osweiler is just the crown jewel of this league right now.
I think if every person were to pick first last week, I think everybody would take Brock Osweiler. So
Probably.
props there
Slam
for
dunk.
so for me, I'm thinking this week like why do not overthink it. Try not to overthink it. Osweiler's your guy. Just
Even though he
push
plays
it in.
the New England defense. this
Make the
week.
call. Make it right now.
I'm not gonna make it right now.
No, do
I
it.
gotta go home. I gotta
Be
do my
bold.
New
assessments.
England defense?
Be
No.
bold, Aaron.
No, bold is what I do on the microphone. It's not what I do with my selections. So I like to kind of assess the situation a little bit more. He's definitely in the dome. Clearly, he had a 30-point game. Who were they playing?
Philly.
Tough defense. So New England's kind of a squishy D. Sorry, guys. But you can't overthink things, right? I've overthought things before. So Osweiler's up there. So good for Marianne. She's back in first. Is that right?
She is by like 2 points.
Barely.
It's crazy, that top of the lineup up there. But anything can happen, man. We still got a lot of football left this season.
That's for sure. So we're rolling into week 10, double digits. So
Believe that. It's already week 10.
your birthday is in a week and a half.
2 weeks.
Happy birthday, bro.
A week from Thursday.
2
A
weeks
week from Friday.
tonight.
Oh,
2 weeks
yeah.
from
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I promise. I will turn 26 2 weeks from tonight.
There you go.
Oh, man, 26. It's a good age. It's
Are
a
we
good
podcasting on Christmas? Listen to me. Thanksgiving?
age. No.
Thanksgiving Day?
Thursday. It's a normal day. We could podcast
I mean,
on a
I
Friday.
don't know.
I'm kidding. I'm not podcasting on Thursday. Get out of here.
Aaron, I was going to say, this Flim Flam family man over here could never pull that
There's
off.
no way. Yeah.
Could
Maybe
never pull that off.
Thanksgiving, maybe before Tony's party on Friday.
Yeah. I'd be down.
Well, it's going to be. We're kind of like at that point of the season where things are starting to sift down a little bit, and each week goes by, and I think every single week I get more nervous about the quarterback I take.
Yeah, I know what you
It doesn't become any easier. Like the more data we have, the stakes.
Yeah.
Exactly, the context
Man,
there.
I want to say we are. This is probably one of our most consistent betting seasons that we've had. I think we're about even where we started. I don't think we've won much or lost much, but by now,
remember that crazy run we had last year though.
yeah. But I think by now we're tanking already.
We can recover.
But we're doing good this season. I'm happy with our choices so far. It's been great. I like the new system.
I like it, and I think the voting is really nice, and I think we're learning to not overthink it too much. Like even if New England has like a 10.5 line, roll with it because they're probably going to cover it. Like don't get too cute with these like Atlanta's on the road against Carolina. Like those games are trap games, and I think we've done a good job of picking the Phillies at home 8.5 kind of thing where. Even though the spread looks big, these teams are better than. That's why the spread's big. And
not
they usually cover
it hasn't had its adversions from Brian and Austin they've been very vocal in the betting. How much of we're making a huge mistake, guys. We're making a huge mistake, and every time they do it, we win. Every time they do it. So bring it on, guys. Austin, I hope you're listening.
That's why democracy rules.
It does. But if I don't know if we have any listeners anymore, but if anyone does have any questions coming in, let us know.
Austin's been quiet for the whole podcast.
That's what I thought.
I think he just heard us talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think he heard John Ross's name, and then he it's just like it happened. He's like, well, he tuned in real quick, and then he had to tune out. So I don't think he's still with us.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe it's just me, but when you get a direct message in the group me, is it always bold? Or maybe okay, because if he bolded that specifically, I should have read it with more ferocity.
So it used to just be the name was bold, and now the whole message is bold.
Oh, I thought it was just the name.
No,
that's a new thing.
That's
they
pretty.
make the whole message bold.
It comes with a little more fierceness when it's all bold like that.
It's new.
Gotcha.
If you look at it on desktop, it's not all bold.
Mine is just his name.
Okay.
So it's just for you.
So maybe.
Did you download the new update today?
I think so. I think it's just for the person that's tagged.
That makes sense.
Is yours bold?
Nope. Maybe you're right.
See?
That's still dumb though.
I got the message. The bold message.
Anyway, guys, we've got no segments for you this week. But we're glad you came and listened.
Chillax Friday episode.
It's Friday, man.
Yeah.
Chillax.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Aaron.
It was a good time. Yes, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
I'm sure we'll have you back on here again.
Only if you want me. Only if I'm invited. I will not just show up and assume I'm invited. I have to get the invite.
only thing. So obviously, everybody who hasn't been on yet takes priority over you.
Yep.
Fair.
If nobody else, if none of those people say they want to be on it, then you're certainly welcome.
Yep. You and Austin got to fight it out. I don't know if we should do that for person again. Unless we
that's tough. It's
maybe I'll get myself a mixer so we can have 4 mics. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows what we'll do?
If this league really enjoys this podcast so much, we should really take the league winner and just buy a new microphone so we can have another mic, right? And that'd be just like beneficial for the whole group. I think everybody would enjoy that.
There'd be certain people that would not enjoy that.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We're ways to improve the 3-step flop. First of all, we need a big old sign back here.
Yeah,
that's step number 1.
Get this out of here.
Yeah, the American flag. Oh,
we need to start off with the anthem every week.
We need a framed Kaepernick jersey first of all, right here.
Yes,
and then we can talk about the logo over here.
Right.
Perfect.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening in. My name's Gator Schrand.
I'm Tony DeLaTelle.
And I'm Aaron Carnevale.
This was the 3-step flop.